What is happening there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch today Don't Worry, Darling, the movie starring Shia LaBeouf and Chris Pine Spit.
That's right. Finally coming together on screen.
I don't think we've talked about this movie at all in this channel, but it's out on HBO Max, so, you know, it was like people already are asking us, like, you guys going to cover it? So, yeah, I figured, why not? Let's do it. Harry Styles can do no wrong.
That's
Even
true.
if he's awful in this movie, we will not say that. No. Anyway, guys, please go ahead, leave a like. John, how are you?
I'm ready to go to Harry's house. How are you?
I'm ready to go to Harry's house, too. I understand why Olivia did it. And
Yep. I understand why anybody goes to Harry's house.
Also, full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy of Don't Worry, Darling, available for our super sexy rejects at our Patreon page. Over there, we cover many things exclusively with reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. Thank you to all who have shown your support by following us over there. Lastly, this video is sponsored by Wondery, one of our go-to podcasts. It's always exciting to work with a company when you already use their services, but we'll talk on them more right after the reaction. Let's get to the reaction.
That doesn't count. Winner, cigarette dinner.
That wasn't my talk.
Does this take place in the past?
Yeah, I guess it must. Romantic donuts.
How many people are going to be at this party? Because I need to know how much tuna salad you make.
Frank doesn't like tuna.
Baby, why didn't you tell me? I was planning on it being the centerpiece to my dish.
Oh, it's not the centerpiece.
I still feel like they're 17 years old.
Yeah.
Playing older.
Jack, wait!
You forgot your tuna, Jack.
Oh, the tuna I prepared. The centerpiece.
I'm waiting here for you.
I'm coming home now real soon. Coming home.
Does she stuff for her husband
I guess.
at home in privacy?
Whatever floats his boat. Maybe that's his kink.
So they're all forced to take ballet classes?
Some kind of Stepford thing.
Remember, ladies, there is beauty in control. There is grace in symmetry. We move as one.
Is that the theme of the movie?
The theme of the movie.
Ooh.
Chin up.
Smack her ass.
Toots.
People said this movie's predictable. I have no clue what's going on.
Same. Whoa.
What?
He bought the magician's egg carton.
Damn, this couple is so into each other.
How's your day?
How could you not be? They're the two hottest people in the world.
I made a roast.
What else?
Mashed potatoes,
What else?
green beans.
What else?
Not eggs.
Oh, what a bunch of bullshit.
Dude, you just... Oh, I've heard about this scene.
I've gotten much older. You have ruined the food. Be careless.
So I know you got a spoiled life here, but this all cost money and took time.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know that. Yeah, really see that.
Okay, you have to stop humming that song. What is it?
I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me. It's been stuck in my head for days.
Maybe it's a children's song. Some of your kids sing?
Oh, no, I don't have children.
Shame.
What is your purpose in life?
Bill wants four.
Well, once you have one, it's all the same.
Alice, how many babies should Violet have?
Okay, something's not real.
Yeah. This whole life is hollow and empty like those eggs.
And they don't even care about the food.
It's all
Do
a
they
simulation.
need food?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this the Sims?
Literally just ignored the food on the table.
I haven't really gotten to talk to Frank very much.
Frank doesn't have to talk to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
You have no idea how extraordinary he is or what he can do. You're lucky to even know who he is, let alone be standing in his house.
Oh my God.
Frank has built something. What he's created out here, it's a different way. A better way, and we only have each other.
Why are we here?
Thank you.
Oh.
We shouldn't be here.
We're like one of the only ethnic couples. Keep your mouth shut. You know how hard it was to get in here.
Margaret's question is right. It is the good question to ask. Why the hell are we here?
I don't know, man.
To stand our ground, to look harder, to dig deeper, to mine that pure, unbridled potential, that gem of limitless and unimaginable value.
You guys look like all you do is have fun.
I see greatness in each one of you. I know exactly who you are. What are we doing?
Changing the world.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
That's right.
Frickin' Nick Kroll.
No.
They're hiding me.
Suppression pills.
No.
Nothing is fine.
She just needs to sleep.
I don't sleep. I have bad dreams.
Oh.
It's the 50s. Give her a smack. Come on.
Sean Connery this.
Before you lose the decade, man.
And then it becomes unacceptable.
There are so many people outside. Jack, there are so many people. There are so many.
Is this going to happen like every 10 minutes?
Yep. Every new location, every new costume.
Keep it going.
Chris likes to watch.
Oh my God, what is going on? What is going on?
Hey, so
She knew how dangerous it was, just like we all do. The one thing they ask of us is to stay here, where it's safe. But still, she dragged that little boy out into the middle of God knows what.
You got to go there, Florence Pugh.
So when they found her,
She was alone. They never found him.
I knew he died. I just hadn't realized.
She claims they took him to punish her.
what is this like? Is this Area 51?
Development of progressive materials, but sometimes Peter insinuates that they're actually making weapons and that it's all happening underground because Frank discovered.
They're making
Someone
it.
could be listening.
It's scary to sacrifice something, but you're sacrificing something more by sitting in that fear.
What you see here, what you do here, what you hear here, let it stay here. Is it a political commentary on suppressing women?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of that so far.
Oh my God.
Whoa, what?
There's a plane, right? No, oh my God, stop, stop, stop! You need to drive out there, it just crashed. I can show you where it is.
Drive. No, I don't go that way.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Oh, you're going to get in so much trouble. What if it's the little boy?
Yeah, he's just been out here training to be a pilot this whole time. Jared Leto's in there.
I'm just going to stop guessing. Just see what this movie gives me.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Whatever I guess, it'll be wrong.
Jason Sudeikis is in there.
With so many divorce papers. Cool.
Wow. Neat.
Nice.
I like that.
Sink deeper into the way things are supposed to be.
Nice.
Are they experimenting on the women specifically?
Probably. The pills and all they clearly must control the food.
How long have you been home?
A few hours.
No, I guess don't worry, darling means ignore it.
Yeah.
I got off the trolley. I saw a plane crash.
I think I would have heard if there was a plane crash.
No,
Tends to
Jack,
be rather
I saw
loud.
it, and I
Hard to
started
miss.
walking, and
Nope. He's definitely making sure you don't.
Hey. You okay?
Don't worry, darling.
I had a really weird dream.
They're wiping memories around her, man.
You love me.
The most.
Oh, he's been body snatched.
Is this some like Westworld shit?
We'll never find out now.
You're being conditioned, programmed.
Is your word your truth? Is it our covenant? Until tomorrow.
Oh, crazy. Ouch.
This life is suffocating you. Ow.
Hello?
You went out there. You saw it.
She doesn't know what she saw.
You saw it. They're lying to all of us.
I can't talk to you right now, Margaret.
No one asks any questions.
I would not do this over the phone.
Yeah, they can listen.
Don't question it. She's gonna invent hip hop. Oh no.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so I guess none of this world is real. I like the music a lot. There's like a curiosity and a panic.
Yeah, it's like really eerie and disorienting. No.
Margaret?
No,
No.
Margaret, you're the only one with answers.
No.
God damn it, Margaret.
Save her, Chippendale. Oh,
shit.
Damn.
Crazy.
Jack, I saw it happen. She cut herself open. There was blood everywhere. It's not just a few stitches.
Please don't get hysterical.
Say the title of the movie, Jack.
Got one job, man.
What are you doing at the Victory Project?
Uh-oh.
You know what I do, Alice? I'm a technical engineer.
What does that mean?
What are you
Like when I
technically
ask my mom
engineering?
what she does for a living, I'm like, well, you've been saying it for years. I don't know what you do.
The development of progressive materials?
You know
what
we
does that
can't
even
talk
mean?
about this.
What does that even mean?
You know we can't
Come
talk
on,
about
what
this.
does it mean? What does it even mean?
Stop asking.
Not everyone gets this opportunity. And if you keep talking like this, you're going to put it all at risk.
You're worried about a demotion?
Our life, Alice, our life together. This. We could lose this.
Wow. At least he seems like he actually loves her in his own weird way.
In his own very Randy kind of way.
Honestly, I don't even remember my life before Victory. Frank gave us the opportunity of a lifetime.
Wow. Thumbnail.
Yep. Woo. Them clicks.
Oh shit! She didn't even realize at all what she just did she?
Nope, not at all. Oh
But
my
she
god.
wants to break free.
We are so lucky to be here.
You saw Ted's wife fall. Thought maybe it might be shock.
Well, that was quite a tumble. She was so embarrassed.
Talk to her.
It wasn't a tumble. She slit her throat.
Alice. No. Witnessing a trauma can often lead to distorted memories, even nightmares.
Let's get some gaslighting in here.
I have some pills I can prescribe for that.
I really don't think that I need those.
No, they're precautionary.
Security risk.
They will just keep you relaxed.
You're a bad doctor. Let me have my security risk envelope exposed.
This isn't a problem. We can handle it ourselves.
Well, I'll just keep that on file.
Ooh.
What did you do to Margaret? I still don't understand how she's okay.
You wouldn't want me discussing the details of your treatment with my other patients now, would you?
I wouldn't mind.
She was having significant troubles, outbursts, paranoia. She made it impossible for Ted to do his job, so he no longer works for the Victory Project.
Uh-oh.
A bit of help. Ooh. Not like you.
It's not necessary here. It's a totally different scenario.
What is it that you Brits say?
Cheerio.
Keep calm and carry on. Ha!
Nah, he left that there on purpose.
Yikes.
So glad you came back. You left us.
I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on.
I wonder if she remembers her life before this.
Seems like we've seen a flash or two, maybe.
But can she consciously recall it?
I bet not. Jeez, it's all redacted.
It's not.
It's probably just all in code.
Final warning. Yeah.
Might ask Shelley to dance at some point if it feels like a good time.
You look incredible.
Or like she was just drowning.
That's how I like my ladies.
Actually, a really impressive shot.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice. That was good.
Is there like some type of alternate reality, and her real self is they can see through into it and are trying to communicate to?
I wouldn't put it past it. Maybe we're in the
this
mirror.
movie better explain it. That's all I'm saying.
I hope you enjoy.
Is that Dina Von Teese? She's a burlesque performer now, so she can't be playing herself, I guess, but... You are the ultimate product of this place. Ugh.
Keep it together.
Keep it together, keep it together, keep it together.
Jack Chambers.
Whoa.
If I could have you up here for a minute.
Jack, please pay me a big one. I need to leave.
Come on, everybody, give him a round of applause.
Oh.
So did they watch like Midsommar and say, yeah, get Florence Pugh to do something kind of similar?
Let's do a Midsommar, but like, you know, in Palm Springs, sterile desert, 50s land. Let's do that.
This man is out of the ordinary. This man, I am in awe of. Jack Chambers, I am honored to invite you to join our senior advisory board.
Wow. But he's just a boy.
And we got big ideas.
He's gonna spit on you, Chris.
What's wrong? Honey? What happened? What's wrong?
Alice, she's going down the rabbit
hole. That's why I asked earlier what her name was, as I was like, is it directly an Alice in Wonderland? Yeah.
She didn't slip. It wasn't an accident. I saw it happen. I saw her fall. They're lying about everything. And so I went out there and I saw it.
You went out where?
Careful.
You can't trust anyone, man.
And when I touched it, I saw something and I keep remembering more.
Nope.
I would not trust her.
You are behaving like a child. Your husband is out there having the most important night of his life. He's being celebrated, and you're in here trying to ruin it. You sound exactly like Margaret.
And the cycle hums.
I'm ready for an awkward dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it going. Ask all the questions, Alice.
I learned something very exciting.
Oh, really? What's that?
Rumor is you and Jack are trying.
Oh, well, we'll see.
We'll see a little boy.
It's a man's world.
I'm sorry Bunny didn't believe you. But then again, you didn't believe Margaret, so... Oof. Why should anyone believe you?
Ooh, that's cold.
No great man has changed the course of history without being pushed to the limits of his potential. And you push me. I do hope you keep going.
Oh, God. Uh-oh. Look at her walk. Look at her walk. Oh, no. Let's get this conversation going, people.
Thank you.
Oh, she took the seat at the head of the table. Oh, man.
Violet, where are you from?
Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
You know I like you.
Most of the women here are
From Philadelphia, yep.
Or Baltimore. Or Chicago.
I haven't noticed.
You got no one other thing?
I, for one, do not miss the winter.
She's figuring it out.
What was the last beach you went to?
Beaches are actually some of the filthiest places in the whole world. It's just a sandbox of disease and...
Peter, do not say disease at the dinner table.
They need to know.
I could probably guess. Hilton Head, Cape Cod, or the Jersey Shore.
They're all given a background.
We met on a train.
To Boston.
Yes.
You dropped your ticket, and he bent down, picked it up, gave it to you, right?
Oh, wow, you are breaking the mold.
Cool.
That's how Margaret met Ted. And Peg, am I right in thinking that that's how Debbie McIntyre met her husband? Yes, I am. That's how they met.
Yes, that's true. I'm jealous, honestly. It's such a sweet story. Yeah, yeah.
He's using all of us. Do you even know what the Victory Project actually is? Have you ever asked?
Do you? Is that why you went out there?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did go out there and I went to headquarters and I saw what he's hiding.
What
He's
I'm
lying
hiding.
to us. He's
Oh,
lying to all of
dear.
us about what the Victory Project actually is. He's
Alice.
trapped us here.
Trapped? I hope no one feels trapped. Do you feel trapped?
No one's answering directly.
Yeah.
Tonight, you've trusted us in your home, just like I trusted you in my bedroom.
What's in this food? Let's talk about that. Where did it come from?
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm
Let's
sorry.
just think about it.
I'm sorry.
You should clarify what he was implying about the bedroom first.
Yes.
Because your husband's about to think of something else.
Yeah.
There's a pattern, isn't there? A pattern of selfish, pampered whining. Or is it just a desperation to be exciting?
So manipulative.
Well, I won't listen to your pathetic ranting any longer.
Well, Jack, I think you may have overserved your wife.
Uh-oh. Yeah, no, it's your fault, bruh.
Jack, let's talk.
Played your hand.
Go to the desert.
Take the car.
We need to leave, and we can go anywhere. We can go anywhere, and we can create our own world, and it will be you and me, and we'll be okay. And it's not about where we go, it's just that we're together. Please, please, please.
If I was acting on her, I'd just be like, wow, she's doing such a good job.
She's really carrying me through this scene right now. I'm so lucky.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. This is not an okay. This is an okay to a different decision. He's just going to go down on her again.
Maybe that's what they're working on at Victory. It's just a giant pleasure wand.
I wonder if this is actually the modern day.
Oh, is it going to be spoilers for the village?
I feel like they are in some type of Westworld type of thing. Programming that they keep experimental programming.
Baby, what's wrong?
I tried so hard to keep this from happening.
What? Let's... Baby, we need to go. We need to go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me be I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jack, please.
What the shit?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Squeeze out a tear. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's MK Ultra time.
Oh, my God, look at the nurse.
All Dita Von Teese. Oh, no. No. Oh.
I could withstand this.
You're gonna get another job. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll take extra shifts. It's not a problem.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it is modern day.
This looks very, like, that looks modern day.
Yeah. Oh. Are they giving her a lobotomy? Oh. Oh.
I thought you were going to be home by 10.
Uh-huh. So did I. Surgery ran really long.
I had a feeling from the beginning that it was modern day. It felt that way. Look at that
I don't have my
walking
phone
line.
in the OR, Jack.
Well, it'd be nice to know that.
So he's not British?
You know, there was a moment at the beginning of the movie where he was talking with a brief American accent. And I was like, what's up with this?
I was like, what's his voice?
Yeah, what's this accent? And then...
Call the guy, he couldn't come today.
But I'm really tired, baby.
Dance with me.
No, Jack, just stop. I just finished a 30-hour shift. I sewed up 12 people, and I gotta be back in 6 hours, and I'm so tired. I just need to go to bed.
30-hour shift. You think you're running a YouTube channel with that kind of hours, lady?
And almost as important work.
Almost.
That is the real you. I know that you are the man you say you are.
Bond.
Yeah.
The ideal man.
All to gain, yeah. That fantasy stuff.
Welcome home.
Look who's feeling bad.
Oh, thank God. Oh. Okay, don't count it to the whole neighborhood here.
That's why he puts on the British accent.
Yeah.
So they're trying to create a new society.
Yeah.
I'd like it. How do we join?
Here they go. Oh, my goodness. Hi. It is the most beautiful sign I've seen in my life. Did you hire a professional artist to paint it?
We made it
You did?
ourselves.
No, you did.
I would love it if Olivia Wilde knows the truth.
Yeah.
And she chooses to just stick with the narrative is.
I bet I wouldn't be surprised.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Hi. Smells amazing.
Thank you.
I'm here for my food and sex now.
Well, you're a little early, but I have so many things to finish. So I'm gonna need to go put things out of the oven. No, it's gonna burn.
Yeah, there are things about Chris Pine's character that feel like a cult leader meets Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Do you understand the discretion required to be a part of this community?
Yes.
Do you understand the consequences of indiscretion?
Yes.
Are you aware that you are responsible for preparing your home device system?
Yes.
Now, this is where I can see Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you consent to the physical and mental requirements for entry to Victory? Are you
Metaphysical.
aware that you are responsible for the physical upkeep of your chosen life?
Ew.
Are you aware that you must exit the simulation through Victory headquarters every day and return only for your allotted number of hours?
Yes. It's you.
So they are in a simulation. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the real modern right now. Yeah, because it's the red. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
I guess we were right.
Welcome to the Victory Project.
Yeah, it's
There
all
are
a big
currently
simulation.
72 active users.
Wow.
Your re-entry has begun.
We can fall deeper into what we know is true.
Told you they don't eat food.
Baby, you're having another episode. Just take a deep breath. It's okay. Alice, please just think about your life and what you actually want.
Don't tell her that, dude. It's not gonna go well for you.
She wants freedom to make her own choices.
She wants to live in the real world.
Things that modern day women's.
I have to leave every day just to make enough money to keep us here, and I hate every minute of it. I fucking hate it, Alice. You get to stay here, and you're happy.
At least he had good intentions. Right? Right? It's the way to view it.
Definitely.
And defend man.
we would all do this.
I came to you, and you made me feel like I was f***ing crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Now's not the time to go down on her.
That fixes everything.
Stop.
It's the cheat code.
A man's responsible for his own wife and nothing else.
So all the wives are trapped here?
Yeah. You didn't pick up on that?
Reverse step.
Except for Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
No, I need a second. Get off me! I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Get off me! Just
What the shit is he doing?
Whoa. Got the glass, yep. Oh!
Alice? Alice?
If you die in this simulation, do you die in the real world?
Excellent question.
The mind cannot live without the body.
What happened?
Alice, listen to me.
No, I need to tell you something,
No,
Bunny.
you need to leave.
No, this world isn't real.
Alice,
it's not
they're gonna
real.
kill you.
Frank created a program, and he created a
I
world,
know.
and it's...
Yep, exactly.
Alice, if a man dies here, he dies in the real world, and Jack can't put you back in this time. He can't put you back in like...
Oh my god, this is becoming an action thriller. Let's go. Let's go. Stop some bullets.
Bunny, your kids aren't real.
They are.
Kids aren't real.
No, they are. They're real
Nothing
to me.
is
They're real to me, Alice,
Nothing.
because here they're alive.
Yeah.
Christ, Alice, whose blood is that? Jack! Go back inside, Alice, sweetheart. Stop.
Where is Jack?
Oh, murder them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
They all know. Deep down, they know.
Whose world is this? Whose world is it? Whose world is it? Whose world is it?
Alice! Go! Go, Alice! Go!
Hurry up.
Yeah, well, you still can. Damn, she straight threw Nick Kroll on the ground.
I love how these virtual reality programs have to get into the car.
Yeah. Can't just zap there.
It's a little predictable, but I'm still really enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it.
I enjoyed it. I like the movie.
I've liked this a lot for the most part, yeah.
Oh. She's become the Bond character.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah. Stop her! What is about to happen? Play chicken.
Yeah. Smart. Nice.
Yeah. That was clever.
Well done.
Dead, sir.
Listen to me, you do not let her exit.
If she gets there, she gets through. Who's gonna put her back in? Frank?
Oh.
Frank, what do we do? Sir?
Yep.
You stupid, stupid man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What you have done is started a revolution.
Liberate the women. Whoa. Ew. Like fire ants.
Yeah. God, running barefoot on that?
Yeah, dude.
I wonder if she has like fake feet.
Little hobbit feet.
Hurry up!
Come on. Don't buy it. The poster.
Oh, is she gonna choose to stay here?
She better not. No.
Oh, what?
Okay. What?
Oh, no.
Go, 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 go. Go.
Oh, thank God.
Once we acknowledge that reality, we can let go.
It's gotta be over now, right?
Yeah, color's coming back.
Beam me up, Scotty. I disagree.
There's a lot to be worried about. It's exclusively things to worry about.
All right. Okay, well, it's over now.
Shit to talk about.
Yeah. That was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't
understand the guff this got.
I understand what I heard that there was a divisive ending. So when I thought she was going to stay behind, I was like, oh, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I heard it was a divisive ending or something. I don't remember what Rotten Tomatoes said. They said something on Rotten Tomatoes about the ending.
So now I'm like, is it just divisive because of the? Do you mean like the reveal is divisive, or is it the actual?
Listen, I mean, I watched it play out, and I was like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, I'm not upset really by any of the place it chooses to go.
I think the movie perhaps they're up on Rotten Tomatoes, but before that. A word from Wondery. Thanks to Wondery for working with us again and sponsoring this video, and yet again for introducing us to another fantastic podcast. One that I didn't expect to be saying is a fantastic podcast because it's a show that I was like kind of up and down about. There were some episodes that we really didn't like, and there were some episodes that we really liked, and a couple that we actually quite loved. It was such an up and down journey, but this podcast from the first episode alone made me go, wow, I already appreciate this show that much more. And that is the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast. First thing that hooked me about this podcast is that it's hosted by Felicia Day. Many of you guys might know she's like one of the most ultimate fantasy nerds out there. I personally didn't know about her until she was introduced in Supernatural, where I thought she was great in it. On this podcast, they go episode by episode through the whole season, and they interview talent from in front of the camera to behind the scenes. For example, the first episode is with, I don't know, you probably got a better shot at it.
Morpheth Clark, I believe.
The actress who plays Galadriel. She always pronounces it correct, too, on the podcast.
Yes.
While listening listening to it, I was like, wow, you know what? I like this first episode that much more already, and I like Galadriel that much more already because I started to understand a lot more of the insight and the approach due to the fact that Felicia Day, from both just being a fantasy nerd, but also being an actress as well, just gets the best questions in there. Yeah, I really loved it. You were talking to me about the finale recently?
Yeah, they also had J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, who are the showrunners, on to break down the finale, and they talk about other episodes as well across the series. It's fascinating to know because there's been so much made out of what they have access to and what they have to work with. You know, hearing what their reasoning was for why they guided the season the way they did, and just the human elements of being there day to day and, you know, making this insurmountably big production. It's fascinating stuff, really.
I would say that if you enjoyed The Rings of Power, you're more than likely going to love this podcast, so please give it a shot. Even if you were kind of just like sort of where we were in the middle, if you were like us, to me, it made the viewing experience of The Rings of Power that much more rewarding. So, you know, as they say here, to go into the canals of Numenor and the mines of Khazad-dûm. Watch The Rings of Power on Prime Video and listen to all 8 episodes of the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast for free on Amazon Music. You could download the Amazon Music app now. I did that, so join me on that journey. Don't forget to check out the Wondery app or subscribe to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts for more. They're becoming like the go-to center for my podcast. So thank you, Wondery, for working with a loyal customer. All right, here we are. The ending isn't for everyone, but the cast, especially Florence Pugh, helps Don't Worry, Darling make the most of a story with fairly few surprises. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty big chasm between the critics and the audience, and I would be with the audience on this one.
I would be with the audience on this one because it's an enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I like the tone. I like the world. The first like 30 minutes. Especially reeled me in enough to the point where I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I want to know.
Yeah,
you know, I want to understand what's happening, and you know, things that start once you start piecing together pieces of this that feel derivative of other things you've seen.
Yeah,
then it starts progressively becoming like, oh, okay, I'm figuring this out before the movie's telling me what's happening. I'm figuring this out, you know?
Yeah.
So it does become, it's not like instantly like, I figured this out from day one, from the second it started. There's like some clues. I don't exactly know what it was. Some type of subconscious clue that felt like it was modern day. That's why I questioned it at the top of like, oh, this is in the past.
Yeah, I get what you mean because I think they do wisely in the early moments to sort of. There are places that do feel a bit timeless, and I was thinking of Palm Springs because Palm Springs is a place that's kind of like that, at least in my recollection of it. So yeah, I feel like that's intentional, and then they do a good job of steeping you further into the idea that this must be the past. But yeah, there's something, and I think that's a nice nuance of tone that is kind of tricky to strike to get you wondering, are we in the time and place that it's suggested we're in? Because something, doesn't seem quite like we are.
Yeah, I mean, I like a good sci-fi story, you know? Matrix is like arguably my favorite movie of all time. I'm really bummed about the cancellation of Westworld, but there's a lot of, other than the android part, there's things that involve a lot of with my manipulation of the subconscious reality distortion and whatnot, and you know, realities that are not real in one's own mind. And so there's a lot of qualities in the way the tone and the editing and the style of it. It was you were pointing out Under the Skin.
Yeah, I mean, there's Under the Skin. You said Black Swan at one point.
Alice in Wonderland reference. Like, there's a lot of things that most the village.
The village. Justice for the village.
Yeah, there's a lot that feels very, derivative of these qualities. But, I don't know. Maybe if I saw it in the, you know what it is? If this got like a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes and then I watched it, then I would have been like, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm there with the critics on this. But you tell me 34% and I watch this, I'm like, it's not that bad. Come on. It's pretty, it's an enjoyable film. It's enjoyable. I thought it was really enjoyable, especially because the acting from especially Florence Pugh and Chris Pine, that's a character who doesn't have that much screen time when you think about it, but it's the kind of villainous character whose presence needs to be felt throughout. Like, you'll hear him on the radio a lot. Everyone's ideologies and their entire way of living is all formed around this cult leader.
Yeah.
and who they want to satisfy and get validity from is from this dude. So yeah, I think that was well done, and like Florence Pugh's like phenomenal as always. Like there are parts that are Midsommar. It's just such a Midsommar type of thing to me.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen it,
half expected to see her covered in flowers at the very end.
Yeah.
Just watching Harry burn up in a bear's costume.
Yeah. And then, some of the societal and modern day political commentary. That's why I'm more surprised the audience is more and more.
I know.
Some very modern day political
Bunch
commentary.
of sad guys who feel emasculated, who just want to transcend their station with their chosen partner. And how do they do that? They go back to the good old days.
Yeah.
Where all you had to do was stay home, honey, live your life, and I'll go do soul-crushing work in order to maintain the illusion. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of gaslighting, and there's lots of just the idolizing of the especially sort of 40s, 50s past as being something idyllic, and
you like deconstructed is a lot of terrible things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That we've done more in modern day time, like shit like Mad Men and everything. Especially that really shows.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And so it's again not illuminating this for the first time, like you said. It's doing a lot of things other media has tread the ground of. But I thought this did it with at least a very assured tone. A lot of really good filmmaking, a lot of quality performance. Like all the work on display is pretty quality. So like a weird comparison to draw, but I almost in this moment am reminded of what's the Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, Joseph Kosinski movie?
Oblivion.
Oblivion. Okay, yeah. Oblivion is like clearly this is derived of many other sci-fi movies. However, I still like this whole kind of thing, and I would say that I felt the same way about this, but maybe more so. Like I maybe like this more than that. And like there's a fair amount of commentary you can draw on, especially societal and gender politics, and like especially the way you have Harry Styles as this guy who's clearly a bit of a deadbeat and who clearly wants a better life for them both. They're both struggling. They must have some kind of genuine relationship, but he's, it's no coincidence that the fantasy he ultimately gets pulled into, this gift he thinks he's giving her, removes all of her, or at least much of her autonomy. It removes her, vocation, and it puts all that stuff on him, and it swaps it all out for a very traditional gender role. And that's, it may be a bit straightforward the way it's like, you basically do all the work in supporting us. And I wish things were different. But yeah. I mean, like for the mystery.
What you think of Harry Styles?
I thought he was fine. I thought I kind of agree with the things I had heard beforehand. It's like I didn't think he was bad. I thought there were a lot of scenes in which he was good. I thought he was, you really believe him when he and Florence Pugh are canoodling. I feel like the most, and when he's in these,
seem to enjoy those scenes. Yes,
they do. And when he is in a more power position, when he's like breaking down in the car when they're taking her away, that was a moment where I was a bit like, okay, like. Maybe get a few more years of acting under your belt, and then you would be able to really nail a scene like this. So I see some of the limitations, but I wasn't sitting here going like, oh man, why did they cast Harry Styles aside from his status as a celebrity? And it's one of those things, like he showed up in Dunkirk, and I was like, I'm not distracted by this because I can see how and why you would bring a person like him, even with his status in the modern world, into a place like that and what it says about, who had to fight that war. And also he fits within that era. So then going to another story that's, within, a past 1900s decades aesthetic, 30s, 40s, 50s-esque, deco, mid-century modern, things like that. Like he fits this time period well. So, it's easy to kind of, like there are things about his boyish charm and his shiny appeal that lend themselves very well to this movie. So I wasn't sitting there going like, weird choice if you couldn't get Shia LaBeouf. Because then you think of Shia LaBeouf and you're like, I could definitely see him in the modern day sequences. I'm very curious to see how he would fit into the fantasy of it all.
I think he would have been. I don't know if they would have made him British in the fantasy. I think that would have been very distracting. I find that more distracting than Harry Styles doing an American accent.
And remembering that Florence Pugh is British, doing American through this whole thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's British, isn't
That's
she?
right. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Always blows my mind.
I totally forgot that because I hear her voice and I'm like, those are the kind of, on a personal note, those are the kind of voices I tend to be most attracted to.
Sure.
A little bit of a raspy.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of that smoky
yeah.
quality in there. Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, not so much like the high pitched voices. So, that's all woman sound. I'm Scarlett Johansson.
We're all animated girls. That's my
Gemma Chan's real voice.
Yep.
I'm Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
They all sound like that. It's really annoying. Actually, Selena Gomez has the kind of voice that I'm talking about that I really like.
Yeah, she got that rasp too.
Wait. I think sometimes it is hard to look past some of the. All I've heard about this movie is the drama. So,
Totally.
but I feel like I feel like on my personal end, it was easy for me to look past it for most of the time and just watch the movie and not think about those other things other than a few jokes here and there. I think Harry Styles' performance made more sense to me once the reveal took place. Like the more subdued, because I think what you might imagine, what I think the idea of casting him would be is that for most of the movie, when you're in the fantasy world, you'd expect a guy who's really going to fully embody the fantasy and really be sort of the presentation of it all, really embody the presentation of it all.
The quintessential successful man in this paradigm. Yeah.
The very charming, very charismatic, big personality to then have a contrast when you see the modern day and you're like, he's not that at all. He's actually this pathetic, self-loathing guy.
This greasy dude, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they wanted to have that contrast, whereas I think what Harry Styles was doing was keeping that guy in the modern world alive in the fantasy world, and that's why I had more of a like every other guy was sort of buying into the fantasy.
Yeah.
Where he kept it a little bit more like he was aware of the fantasy and kept it subdued. So I guess it's really down to him. That's the I don't feel like I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. I feel like that's what he was doing with his performance. And I guess it really comes down to, is that choice, did that choice work for the movie? Or was it kind of like, I'm not really sure. It's like, I felt like there should have been more of a gravitational pull, more of a magnetism to his performance, is I guess what I was getting at.
You're supposed to fall in love with him too.
Yeah, and I was always like, he's fine.
Yeah. It's like, he's fine. He looks good with her, and I get how this relationship works. I'm not in doubt that they would be together. However, Chris Pine brings, you're never like fully not suspicious of him, but there are moments where he brings that, like, I see why people like get suckered in by this guy. Like you mentioned, that Jordan Peterson quality that he has, and
it's like, it really is a cult leader meets Jordan Peterson-esque meets.
Yeah, because
I listen to a lot of motivational people, and I've heard some Jordan Peterson talks that are good, and then I've heard some that are really quite
perplexing. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna say all of it's bad, but there are things that I've heard where I'm like, I don't know if I can get on board with this.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good. It is a good stand-in. While it's not a one-to-one, he's clearly this guy. Like, it's a good stand-in, because I think that's part of the Frank character's deal as well. Is there's probably a lot that sounds very reasonable and very appealing, and then there are those nuggets where you're like, whoa, hold on, wait, we're going to extreme measures for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's with the Harry Styles character, the magnetism, I think, is a good word. That's the gap that needs to be filled.
But I appreciated the performance. What I'm saying though is that I did appreciate what he did in its totality once I got what he was really doing after the reveal was shown.
Yeah.
Because within the fantasy world, the part that felt the most real in terms of a big acting performance was his ending moments with her. When they're like fighting it out in the room, where I'm like, okay, like it was all sort of like his whole performance started making sense. Like the choice start really making sense to me.
Yeah, the truth connects.
Yeah. So, yeah, not that it was like a perplexing, but I don't want to like spend too much time fucking like dissecting Harry Styles' performance.
And it works. I think it works too because of the way the movie captures the perspective. Like it does keep you so in Florence, in Alice's shoes, and so from her perspective that even when you are in intimate moments with them, you're still disconnected from everybody else.
Yeah.
So I feel like that lends itself to his performance and the other ones as well.
Well, yeah, because there are times where it reads like, is he green? Is he withholding charisma? Like when he's dancing and stuff, it was like such a weird way of going about it.
Yeah.
But then suddenly when you know the reality, you're like, oh, the whole performance suddenly clicked for me on the choice he was making.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, to me, it's like, this is Florence Pugh's movie from beginning to end. Like she's so phenomenal. And she's just great at the character who's like thrown into a crazy scenario, who's walking around the whole time going, what the hell's really going on?
Yeah. I was almost reminded of Mother at times in ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like
another one. Just start naming off this kind of movie.
I'm the only normal one.
Everyone is
of freaks.
crazy.
What's going on around
Everyone's gaslighting me.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not insane.
Yeah, but
Just
then
eat your steak.
but it's also like, but you're really special.
Yeah.
You're the special one.
You're the one who's going to break it all apart.
Yeah. And then, I think what Chris Pine does is really clever because sometimes very overt in what he's doing, especially with the writing. But other times there is that type of sneaky, insidious quality, even when he's like drawn to Florence Pugh, it's like it's something that feels provocative and not a teeny bit supportive of someone's potential.
Yeah.
It's something to play more games with.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's the cat and mouse. And that's why
it's like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, when she plays her hand, he's like, no, I mean, I wanted you to like, keep unraveling this at a slow pace and prolong the game and make it some kind of twisted tete-a-tete instead of directly, trying to wreck this thing I've built for all my bros here.
Yeah. I guess the movie's like not as like clever as maybe it wants to be.
It's not that revelatory necessarily.
But I think it's a really enjoyable movie, and it was fun to play along. Like I had fun playing along with the movie, Yeah,
it captures its mystery well enough that I and I think you were there, always hooked, always like, what is going on? Always a little on edge, always suspect of things. Like, and that makes it a fun, engaging experience. And so, I would put this in a category with other films where you're like, this didn't reinvent the wheel, but it rolled it with style. It rolled it with aplomb.
Yeah, kind of like the movie Olivia.
Yeah, kind of like the movie Oblivion. And some people really hate that movie. And then I see it and I'm like, well, I see what all your inspirations are. That's fine. I still like what you did with them.
I still enjoy it.
Looks good. I would still, I'm not champing at the bit to watch it again like ASAP, but I would happily watch it again.
Yeah.
See what other clues might arise.
I really thought a movie like this would get way more hate commentary of pushing agendas and stuff, because this is like so 2022.
Sure. You got sad, lonely dudes who just want to lock their best girl into an old-timey fantasy and run their lives.
And women being oppressed and wanting their freedom after being chained down by men.
And also other women helping to bolster the system, that these toxic men have set up.
Yeah.
That whole thing, and for all the crap Olivia Wilde has gotten for this movie, I liked her supporting performance, and that bit at the end is pretty heartbreaking. Where, the way she played that moment where Alice confronts her about do any of the other wives know? Clearly she is complicit in this horror, and you feel for her because the whole thing about the kids, and her loss in that, but also the immense amount of suffering and just the immense wronging of all these other people at the expense of trying to maintain this fantasy for yourself.
I guess I want to understand some of the other motif choice. I thought it'd be fun to go back and watch this to see what some of the intentional choices are with some of the mirrors that linger, or when, what's the girl's name who cut her own throat? Marlene?
Margaret?
Yeah, you're probably right.
The girl from Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah, that's why I kept making this Chippendale joke, because
I was like, I must be missing some.
That's the only place I've seen her. Yeah, she's the cop they work with.
Yeah. Is Margaret? Yeah, that makes sense.
I think so.
Okay. Like when she sees Margaret in the mirror, like, I don't quite get this, but all right. Sure.
I think, mirrors.
Like in terms of the rules of what's going on.
Sure.
I'm talking about the rule. Like thematically it makes sense, but rules wise, now I'm like, wait a minute, are you doing something thematically that goes against your rules now? Now that I understand this is
Margaret,
a virtual reality
in the room
program,
looking at you,
this is just a glitch,
and
like,
you don't realize.
yeah,
For sure. Or is this just a pure hallucination of some kind that just because Margaret is in your subconscious, that's what's showing up? Yeah.
That probably makes, you probably just did it right there. Yeah.
The rules.
The rules. I made up the rule.
But yeah, no, stuff like that is fun to dissect. And yeah, I mean, you have that other bit where she's in the many mirrors of her bathtub, and then she's got her one face that doesn't move. I guess, yeah, mirrors are the windows to the subconscious in this movie. And then I love that bit with, I mean, like, that is, I think, like a pretty overt, magical style choice when the wall presses her up against the glass, just showing how constrictive this fantasy life has become. She's got to
break through.
She's got to break through the glass ceiling, the glass wall.
I want to be smart, and
try harder.
I'm sure I can go. I'm sure I can find my way into it via conversation of understanding, because obviously the things about, like, creating the perfect woman with the ballet, but I also didn't fully. There are parts of me that I'm like, I don't quite get the ballet part that they kept cutting back to with the black and white and the haunting imagery.
Yeah,
of it, like, why specifically this ballet imagery is something I can't really articulate. It feels like it makes sense, but I can't tell you why it makes sense.
There's not like one specific explainer that comes to mind. I feel like it's sort of an amalgamation of, like, okay, it's very they're talking about symmetry. It's very symmetrical, and in that way, it's very hypnotic.
Yeah.
So, that goes in line with the sort of brainwashed element, but also, I mean, the life that they are doing here is a sort of organized dance, especially for the women, it seems like, because you got the dudes going outside who have to work and hate their lives for 12 hours a day. But yeah, the women are a part of this weird, synchronized choreography that they don't seem to have any control over, that's running on this loop. And so and I like stuff like that where it's like they're cutting to it periodically, and you're like, yeah, what is this? What does this even mean? And then finally at the end, you're like, okay, they're projecting this. This is actually diegetic in some way. It's in the film as they go into their hypnosis, alternate reality state.
See, I feel like I picked up on that early in the movie, and then it kind of lost sight of me. Kept doing, like, as it kept cutting back to the haunting visual part of it, like when they were actually just doing ballet, it made sense. But the haunting visual stuff, I was like, I don't quite get the horror. I kept going, like, did you have like a ballet background? What's going on?
Well, that was actually, it's funny. I think we had the yin and yang, because I was like, okay, I think I get the point of this, like, old timey footage they keep chopping in, but like they actually have to go to a dance class. Like, it seems like they could be doing other things. But yeah, I think that's just that's following that motif, probably because they're all staring at it. That's part of their lives now in here, is because it's so in their subconscious. Yeah, we all go to dance class, and we get to have our Black Swan reference too.
And I think, I'm sure Olivia Wilde directed more of this than people say.
I mean, this is my first, I think, Olivia Wilde joint, but
you haven't seen Booksmart?
No.
Oh, that is a hilarious movie.
I'm excited. I want to see it.
It is very similar in tone and style and cinematography.
Okay, yeah, I bet. And then symbolism.
Two girls who are having a hard time saying goodbye to each other.
They're caught in the oppressive paradigm of academic learning, of academic pursuits.
That was a funny ass movie. That movie. Yeah, no, and I think it's impressive that she can do a movie like Booksmart and then put something like this together, which is just such a different film in every regard.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's not, you wouldn't think for 1 second it's the same director. And I think it is really impressive that she was able to do that. And I like everything on a technical scale, from art design, production design, beautiful. The music is very haunting.
Love the music.
Yeah, it's a great score. It's a wonderful score. And I think, yeah, the direction I thought was good. And I don't know. I feel like there is something that I can't quite put my finger on that feels like it's a bit missing for me in terms of the ramp up pace of it all. I guess I kind of wanted it. It might just be a want, but I felt like I do feel like it could have gone a little bit more anxiety ridden.
Sure.
You know, I think it could have gone like Mother. It could have gone like Black Swan, where it's just like, this is fucking,
or Suspiria or something.
Yeah, this is just like a madhouse now.
Yeah, lean
like,
into that. They did the whole thing with the blood drop and the eye dilation, and I'm like, lean into that like weird Beyond the Black Rainbow, like surreal symbolism. Like, yeah, like really go horrific. I feel like if they had really breached the outer sphere into horror, because it's, you know, it's a pretty solidly a thriller of sorts. And two, I don't know if you would agree, but I feel like you could have maybe done a little bit more in the grunginess of the present to make things feel a little more substantial there, rather than just like, oh, here's the reveal. You know? Yeah.
And I think that's part of what there seems to be a lack of an extra punch to it that it's missing for me. Yeah,
it's like I feel like I would want to. I don't know what, and I don't know if this is quite it, but I feel like, yeah, in those present day moments, if it had said maybe one extra thing in that environment, in that context, it might have felt like, you said that thing earlier about this feeling like one of those movies that thinks it's a little more clever than it actually is. And I feel like that is kind of a part of that mixture. I'm like, okay, cool, here's a reveal, but you know, it maybe might be cool to get another revealer or another sort of layer or nuance on top of that, especially because so much of this begs the question of like, what are all these other people? Not that we need to see everybody in the real life, but even maybe like seeing Frank at one point in the real world or something like that.
I would have. I guess it feels like it would have been cool, like if she was. I think that the missing beat for me personally, I'm not a big fan of being the guy who's like, here's how I would make your movie. I'm not a big fan of that.
Well, actually, here's how I would make it.
I'm gonna go for it anyway. What I was sort of missing for me was really because obviously it's going down it was so like from the very beginning, and from the tiny bits I remember from the trailer that I think I saw like once in the theaters, is that she's gonna go crazy when everyone else is. She's gonna be uncovering the truth. Everyone's gonna think she's crazy when she's not, right? And I think like her descent into going crazy could have hit home harder, and then it could have really had a gut punch when Harry Styles does not ultimately decide to leave with her. So then it could have probably helped sell that when she's back in the world, like, oh, this is how the movie's going to end. It's going to end with her. She's been brainwashed again, and she's back in this world. And she's just plopped there like it's a tragic ending.
You can't escape.
Yeah. Like it could have sold me on that. But I was like, I think the movie just was also aware that, no, that's not how it's going to end. So let's hurry through this mislead. And it just like kind of sped through the time when she's back, and it just went by so quick.
Yeah.
That it was like, let's get to the part where she remembers it again.
I feel like you could have, either convinced us more heavily of that, of the fact that, maybe she is just going to go back in and repeat the cycle. And I think you maybe could have, we all know that by the end of the movie, like we all know she's right, that she's actually, and I think that you could have maybe teased us with like, even though I think we would always know, if you'd at least given us some reason to go like, well, maybe she is a little crazy, or at least maybe what she's seeing isn't exactly what the truth is, even though something is off. Whereas you're pretty much always certain that she is absolutely right about what she's been observing. Yeah.
Something that really does feel like an anxious, claustrophobic mess, as opposed to just doing visuals that represent a claustrophobic mess.
Yes.
Something that really feels like that. And it didn't quite give me that feeling, but I was always watching and focused on like, what's going on? I want to know. I'm enjoying it, and I'm having fun trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But in terms of the feeling, I never quite felt what Florence Pugh was going for, in spite of the fact I'm aware she's phenomenal and exceptionally believable. I never found myself truly in her shoes.
I never found a true self-doubt in the performance. Like I felt her increased paranoia and fear of the circumstances.
She was pretty sure, like,
but pretty much once things start to feel fishy, she is assured. I didn't really ever get a sense of self-doubt or, just the debate within that comes before you decide, no, something definitely messed up is happening here. It seems like she pretty much catches on really fast, which I don't want to necessarily begrudge the character for being resourceful and observant, but at the same time for what this movie is trying to achieve, and for, again, like you said, it's engrossing the whole time, and that helps everything out, but there's not much in the way of like misleading you. It's more just like, what truths keep not being revealed?
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, I've been, swindled by something.
Yeah, I do think a performance like this, as much as I kind of respect the choice that she never really quite goes, am I crazy? As much as I respect the choice, because it's a predictable choice to do that. At the same time, I feel like that would make it more human and would have helped elevate it. And it kind of feels like it's sort of like a thing like this. Sort of sometimes feels like it necessitates the character really questioning: Am I losing my mind? Am I crazy? Is this me? But instead, it is a very much I'm committed to knowing it's not me. There's something else happening. Yeah.
Well, and I think that could make the journey a little stronger if you. Again, I don't want to take the strength of the character away, because I kind of get the argument for that as well, because there's so much made out of the gaslighting that goes on in this movie. So many people are just trying to finesse her back into the status quo, and. Yeah, I don't think it would be reductive to have at least an instance where some of that gaslighting does get to her in a very focal way, and then you have to transcend and shatter that, that barrier. Like, that would feel like a greater sense of growth if you had that initial doubt, and then, no, I was definitely right, and now I'm not going to give up, and now I'm going to freaking confront Frank at the dinner table in front of everybody and be brazen and not care.
Yeah, it probably would have made that moment hit a little harder if she had committed to like, there is something wrong with me. It's not them.
Yeah.
Maybe I will take my medication.
Yeah.
And then Frank confronts, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. She's just gotten back onto, no. You know what? I was wrong. Everything's fine. And then he reveals that to her, and then it's like, oh no, wait, what have I done?
Yeah. And then and I think
now I got to double down.
What would have helped too is I think if there was like now we're in full rewrite territory. That's what we're doing.
Let us mansplain the movie
really
to you.
Another draft is what we're doing.
We're not this all would add another 10 or 15 minutes to the movie.
We're not changing the movie entirely. We're just like, no, we're just adding a little bit more in there of what I think could have helped it like when he is promoted. Because what comes before the Frank unveils, like he's cluing her, he's letting her know, like, no, you're right, you're onto something. But in private, when he does that scene in the kitchen, between what would have helped between that is if there was a confrontation, I think, between Harry Styles and Florence Pugh of, her being like, I'm telling you, blah, 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 she's going off, and he's saying like, this is my big night, this is my promotion, and you're making this about you, like they get into like a really heated argument, and that's when she can come back to reality of like, I am like she can take on the blame of like, I am sabotaging. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this. You're right. This is your big night. I need to support you. Like if it created a real problem between them, the fact that he was promoted and she wasn't around for it and she was in her own fucking world.
And he's like doing a big old song and dance.
And she's not there being supportive at all. It creates a real like riff in their relationship. And that's what helps propel her So it's like, all right, everything's gonna be back. No, I'll invite let's see if Frank can come over for dinner. Like it's her idea, and then that happens at the dinner.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh damn, that would have just made the tension of it rise, and it would have made the relationship between her and Harry Styles feel. I think that's what would have given that anxiety thrust.
Sure, yeah, and because thinking about that moment, I mean, in the moment, I wasn't like, damn, they really missed out on an opportunity, blah blah.
No, I wasn't thinking any of this.
But thinking back on that sequence, it is like I thought a bigger conflict or acknowledgement of
especially with the thing in the bedroom.
Yeah, him like directly bringing that up. Those are two moments. Yeah, like Olivia Wilde in the bathroom is like, "It's Jack's big day. You're in here, you're thinking about yourself and being a child." And there's never really, I don't really recall much of a acknowledgement of that situation with Jack much at all. And then you have that whole thing where he points out seeing them in the bedroom, and
because it sounds like she slept with him.
Sure
That's what
does.
it sounds like. Yeah.
And you would think that amid all these different lies and illusions, she would want to be like, no, that's not what happened. Don't try and gaslight me further in front of everybody and make me discredit me in front of everybody further.
I think with this discussion, what I do think is truly missing from this movie is capturing the relationship between Florence Pugh and Harry Styles feeling like the heart and soul of this movie. So that way it feels very tragic by the end.
Yes.
And because the tragedy doesn't hit.
You're waiting for their relationship to dissolve. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you don't really buy into it. You feel like there's something just suspicious about him the whole time.
Something's always wrong, and it's rarely ever like, nah, this is right. These two belong together.
Yeah. You're like, oh, maybe he's a good guy. It doesn't feel the tragic parts of it that want you to feel like the tragedy don't hit. That's why at the very end, I was about to be pissed off with the movie because it doesn't feel heartbreaking to me when she's thinking about her time with him.
Yes.
Of the choice that I'm going to let it go. Like it doesn't feel heartbreaking to me at all. I'll just be like, no, you're being stupid and go.
Especially with how the reveal is portrayed, where it's just like this deadbeat guy kidnaps his girlfriend, puts her in a simulation so that he can have his ideal life with her.
Well, it's like they mainly just. It's like it's just like sexual with them and nice.
It's the most believable shit in the movie between them.
It doesn't ever really feel like a real relationship to me, other than you got actors who are just really going at it and they're bonding.
Which, in a weird way, in a conceptual way, I don't necessarily begrudge the movie for, given what we see of the reality. Like, clearly, they make a point in that scene in the kitchen where he's like, come on, I want to play around. And she's like, I've been working for 30 hours. I'm going to go back. And so it makes sense to me that their relationship would be so sexual and that would be so much of what we witness.
But the interaction is not anything. It's just so like,
but yeah,
baseline.
It's like they had to have gotten together for a reason in the real world, and I still don't know what that is, because you only see what could be construed as positive in the simulation, and thus I didn't really get a sense for the bedrock of their connection, of their relationship to each other.
Yeah.
It felt like they were paired together. It felt like a lot of these couples were paired together by somebody else in a way.
Yeah, no, that's why I kept thinking the flashbacks were like, and maybe that was intentional to make it feel like, oh, that's a different, it's not a real husband. It was intentional because it's not the real him. But still, anyway, no, it was a fun movie. I had fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I don't think I was
too much crap.
I had a feeling it wouldn't be as bad as everyone said.
No,
and
I liked it.
No, I did. Overall, I would say I liked it, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
I'm excited.
I'll remember this movie.
This will be one of the films of 2022. I think back on.
I'll remember this.
And I would love to see Olivia Wilde branch out into more strange, surreal genre stuff,
like Marriage Story.
Yeah, I want to see her take on Revolutionary Road. How many more references can we pack in here?
What other divorce movies?
Whatever. Yeah. Rot.
Blue Valentine.
Disillusion. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Did we miss any? Are there any more There's some of that in
Ted Lasso, the movie.
Yes. Let's see the really positive version of this now. In the movie that's where Frank is the protagonist, he is Ted Lasso.
This movie sounds like it was a nightmare to put together, and
it turned out pretty okay.
Yeah, it's like
pretty all right for that.
Like I thought, this doesn't feel like a crazy hodgepodge mess. Like it definitely doesn't. It just feels like, I feel like I could have used another draft. But it doesn't feel like, there's problems when they made this movie.
How embarrassing. No, not at all.
I'm surprised this turned out all right.
No, there's tons of interesting stuff, and there's tons of.
It feels like if there were problems, this would be the same movie.
Exactly. Yes. No. Really, because it is a very assured and very steady-handed movie. You know, it doesn't come across choppy or anything like that.
No.
Or tonally imbalanced.
A bit rushed at times, but nothing that's out of your ordinary movie.
Yeah, it happens. You know, it's her second feature film.
I think so.
So impressive.
Yeah,
all things considered.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, this could have fallen so much more flat.
And it's really courteous of a director to let your lead actor direct a lot of your movies.
That's right, man.
I don't know what's true. I don't give a shit. I will take it that Olivia Wilde directed 99% of this movie. All right.
Yeah. Any day Harry wasn't on set, at least.
All right, guys. Well, what do you think about Don't Worry, Darling? Leave your thoughts down below. Go ahead, subscribe, leave a like, and thank you to Wondery. Last but not least, let's do a Patreon. Tyler Haig. Tyler, my friend.
T. Haig?
With God of War coming out.
Ooh.
Ragnarok. I am replaying God of War, which I first played on the PS4 you gave me forever ago. This month, I am wanting to give a special thank you, a proper thank you. That's why I don't want to say special. It's a typical patron of the day shout out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're all not a run of the mill special thank you.
I wanted to. I'm first highlighting. I want to take time to first highlight the people who have been here for a very long time. You have been a consistent supporter at our Patreon page for 54 months.
Wowie.
Do the math, John. 12 times 4 is 48.
12 times 4 is 48.
That's like a year and a half.
Yeah. That's right.
I did the math.
That's right. Oh, no. Every time we fall into this trap. Yes. 12 times 4 is 48.
And there's 12 months in a year, so it'd be 4.5 years.
4.5 years,
yeah. I said a year and a half. Yeah. I was thinking 4.5 in my head.
Don't confuse me like that. Don't take me back to thinking it's weeks.
No, it's 4.5.
Yeah. 4.5 years, man.
That's a long ass time. Thank you for being here for so long and for never swaying from us. It's insane to have people like you at our page, and
seriously,
you should make a trip to California, Los Angeles,
dude.
I know you were out here once, but you were way far away and we couldn't make it. So
come to directly right.
You got to come like 10 minutes away from us.
Yes.
Then we'll make time.
Come to beautiful downtown.
Go past like 15 minutes. Then we'll enter traffic terrain, and then it could be like a half hour, and it's just be a little too busy.
Yeah.
No, man, you gotta come back out here, and we're better at making time for special occasions like this. So please make another trip out here. What the fuck are we gonna do in Wisconsin?
Yeah, man. There's only so many.
Look at this tree by your home.
Look at this tree. We'll buy some Packers souvenirs.
No, there's nothing to do out there.
We'll go visit Red Letter Media headquarters.
Waste of time, you know that.
But that's all in an afternoon. What else are we gonna do?
Thank you for being you, Tyler. You're amazing. I love you. Love you so much. Buy you a plate of nachos when I see you.
Ooh.